Okay, let's continue with more interaction design models and methods. And the first is 5W1H: who, what, when, where, why, and that 1H is how. Okay. Um, Sorry, I need to speak a little bit quiet because everyone in the family is sleeping and I've got only time when they sleep. Okay, so uh, when when do we use this model? Uh, I have been saying that to design a good experience for the users, you have to understand people and their needs, right? So how do we know what users want? Well, this is where this 5W1H model comes. The answers to these 6 questions reveal the context of use. Who are the users? What are their tasks? What do they want? How are they performing the task? Like the tools and technology they use. And where are they using the product, the environment? And why do they need to use that product? Something like that. So answers to these questions will lead you to find the perfect design solution for the problems you found. Amazing, right? um, Now, on DIKW pyramid, well, it involves understanding and ability to make use of the data and information to answer questions, solve problems, make decisions, and so on. Okay. Um, this model, same with the 5W1H model. This model is used in so many fields like data science, data analytics, but for our case, we can use it to organize the loads of data you find on the internet and put them in your design visually, aesthetically, hierarchically in an understandable way. And that is called in one word, in 2 words, data visualization. Data visualization is the key word. You should be Googling it right now. I mean, not now. We will be seeing some good data visualization examples in the end of the video under topic of infographics. Okay, see this triangle here. Well, the bottom part first, this big data. Okay. Well, we live in a big data era of internet. You get loads of small pieces of data parts on the internet. That's data. Well, it's not something you own. You just see and oh, it's a data. You forget it as soon as you switch the tab on a browser or close the window. But when you find some relationship between those data, you get the information. So you kind of get the idea what this data is about. And that is information. So for the information you might remember later. Okay, from that information, when you see some patterns, similarity, and differences, and connections between the information, you get knowledge. Yes, now you own the information in your brain. And that's knowledge. It's not easily forgotten. And from that basket of knowledge, you add some time and experience. You will get to the stage of wisdom. So basically, it's a life cycle. Well, in design world, you design infographics through this model. Amazing, right? Okay. 5W1H, the first model, as an user experience design step. As I said in the previous slide, you have to find the answers to these 6 questions to make a better design for the users. So these questions will also help you to make a persona for the project. Next class we will be discussing about it. Let's see the details of this model. Okay, the first W, who? Who are the users? What are their characteristics? What knowledge and experience do they bring to their tasks? Are there different user groups, age groups, or if so, what distinguishes them from each other, like age or educational background, or maybe nationality or something like that, and which user groups are most important for your product. Okay, next W is what? What do the users do? What are the tasks they need to accomplish? You need to understand their tasks as a whole, as well as the tasks that relate to the product or system that you're designing. Oh, the 1H is here. How do they perform those tasks? While what asks about the tasks people perform, how asks for the details of how they perform those tasks. For example, paying a credit card bill is what someone does. Well, how they paid? It gets into the detailed individual steps involved in the tasks. In the task, okay. Uh, the uh, the third W is where. Where are these people when they perform their tasks? Uh, like which physical characteristics of that environment affect how they perform their tasks, like in a bus or lighting condition, or temperature, noise, interruptions, privacy, space, interactions with other people, physical movement, like in a bus, and other conditions of the location could influence how they perform tasks. Okay. When? When do they perform these tasks? Are they in a hurry or can they take their time? How often do they perform these tasks? If it's something they do every day, um, they can learn and remember how the system works. If it's something they only do a few times a year, it's unlikely that you can rely on them to learn and remember how to use the design. The final one, why? Why do they perform these tasks? What are they really trying to accomplish? People perform tasks because they want to achieve higher level goals, like go to the next level. For example, people use personal financial software to update the records of their bank and credit card accounts and to pay bills. Well, those are their specific lower level tasks, but their higher level goals are to feel more control over their finances, to better understand, control their spending, and to save money. Supporting users' tasks is merely the minimum. Okay, so helping them better achieve their true goals is what leads to an excellent user experience. Okay. Okay, so you have got to think about the answers to these questions for your design too. So, okay. hmm Now, when designing a interface in a system, we need to know we need to know about this term, mental models. Mental models are how you think something would work, how you think something should work. Um, okay. Okay. I checked if I'm still recording. Okay. Well, for example, um, print button on a computer software should look like a printer, so that people will click on that button that looks like a printer to print something. That's a mental model. Mental model is a concept, why a framework or world view that you carry around in your mind to help you interpret the world and understand the relationship between things. Okay, to simply put, it is a person's internal representation of external reality based on their learning and experience. Like you saw a printer before in your experience, so you know what printer looks like and what it does and how it would work. That's the mental model of a printer. That is why in the digital world too, you use printer icon to print something. Okay, you can say we are always comparing our mental models with the real world. Okay. When it comes to mental models, there are two things to differentiate. Okay? One, two. Um, the first is a system model. A second is interaction model. The system model is how something works, and the interaction model is how to interact with it, with some design, how to use it. So this side, engineers, developers have good system models because they know how something works. They would say, "I know how car works, but not how people drive it." Okay, and for this side interaction model, users know how to use something. They would be saying, "I know how to drive, but not how the car works." But you, designers, we need to understand both sides and fill the gap to make a good car interface design. We have the hardest job, haven't we? But we are not designing cars in this class, but the website should be good and complicated as this. You do get what I mean, right? Website is a design system after all. Okay. Of course, designing needs to be perfect because bad interface design can kill someone. Really, literally. Like computer programs used in medical field, for instance, if the screen shows wrong heartbeat number, oh well, it would kill someone, wouldn't it? That's why we need to be careful and not to make lethal mistakes. We need another checklist to check when designing something, and that is design evaluation heuristics. Um, there are 10 of them. Okay, let's see each of them. Visibility of system status. It is about letting the users know what is going on. Like, is it downloading or not? Okay, second, match between a system and real world. Well, like the printer icon, the mental model. Hand icon should do what hands should do. Okay? The third one, user control and freedom. For example, the program should have the function to undo what you have just deleted. Because the photo of your friend sleeping during the class has to go online. I'm just kidding. Anyways, the fourth one is consistency and standards. Um, the red color is for cancel, not continue. That's consistency and standard. Okay. Fifth one, error prevention. Less experienced users, like your grandparents, should be able to not to make a mistake easily. Okay. 6. Recognition rather than recall. Well, let the lazy, I know, I mean, busy users not to think much. 7th, flexibility and efficiency of use. Users should be able to see the website on their phones or tablets or even watch. Okay. 8. Static and minimalistic design. Well, this is about letting users not to spend time on unimportant stuffs. Okay. 9 is help users with errors. You have to help the users find and fix the errors by themselves. Okay. And 10th is help and documentation. It is about providing the manuals, how to do tips on the site. Okay, let's see each of them with more examples and descriptions. Okay, sorry about my voice. Okay, the first one, visibility of system status. As it says, users should always be informed of system operations with easy to understand and highly visible status displayed on the screen within a reasonable amount of time. Like these. Website should show how the download or installation process is going. How many steps left to buy a new shoes or a chair, or whether the page is loading, or is it stopped dead, or is it still trying to finish the loading the page. Okay, let the users know. We are frustrated and too busy to wait. The second is match between the system and the real world. People presume how the system could work based on their experience with other systems, other designs that are similar. An extreme example is a square-morphism design, which transfers all details of real-world objects into the software. Well, it is square-morphism is the design concept of making items represented resemble their real-world counterparts, like apps like the compass or calculator, or design components like folders or lock icon. Well, also not only visual images, but also language and concepts from the real world help users to easily understand the system because they have the mental model, as we mentioned previously. That's why the app for storing cards is called Wallet. And we are using bookmarks for saving our favorite websites. We use trash can to remove old files, or the shopping cart while shopping online. So by using the language that people are familiar with, you can help users overcome the initial awkwardness. Okay, the third one, user control and freedom. It offers a digital space where backward steps are possible, including undoing and redoing previous actions. Well, users have got to have the control, or they would just leave the app or web from frustration. Okay, look at these examples. People easily do mistakes, so we need undo control Z function. People need to turn off or hide what they're doing with easy to reach and click button. Or maybe you might want to revive your files even you deleted them on purpose. Hmm. Right? Okay, fourth, consistency and standards. Um, Interface designers should ensure that both graphic elements and terminology are maintained across similar platforms. For example, an icon that represents one category or concept should not represent a different concept when used in different screens. Um, for example, logo on your page should be linked to your homepage, as it always does. Or red colored button is for cancel, green is for go or yes. A design should not let users wonder whether different words or situation or actions mean the same thing. Okay, they said, don't forget that people spend 90% of their time interacting with other apps, which means your design should be similar with them in some way. Um, Using best practices and common patterns will eventually result in much better overall experience. Consistency is one of the strongest contributors to usability. Mhm. Okay, fifth one, error prevention. Um, Even better than good error message is a careful design, which prevents a problem from occurring in the first place. Either eliminate error-prone conditions or check for them and present users with a confirmation option before they commit to the action. Like in the example, ask the users before they commit the mistake, or showing the character limit or character limit in the in Twitter, or input doesn't let you write invalid value. Okay. Recognition rather than recall. Okay. Minimize the user's memory load by making objects, actions, and options visible. Okay, the user should not have to remember information from one part of the dialogue to another. Um, okay, examples. Um, a good user interface, well, doesn't require the user to recall frequently. Instead, it offers all options and information required to make a choice. Like in the first example, Google Suggestions, showing users the things they can recognize improves usability over needing to recall items from scratch. Okay, for the second example, almost every messenger application has the chat history, which lets you start the conversation from the point where you left it. So so that you don't have to recall the conversation hours ago or maybe years ago. Okay? Flexibility and efficiency of use. Every user is unique. Each have their own different needs and skills. Users should be able to customize or tailor the interface to suit their needs, like black, dark mode or day mode, something like that, so that frequent actions can be achieved through more convenient means. Well, good user interface should offer appropriate functionality to both inexperienced and experienced users. So if you see the example, it is a Photoshop tools shortcut. Well, it is an example of flexibility and efficiency of use. For it is used in helping experienced, or should I say, professional users of Photoshop. For in this case, okay. 8. Aesthetic and minimalistic design. You've all heard about minimalistic life, minimalism, minimal design, etc., right? It is about it is all about having only the necessary. Less is more. For our case, any design content should not contain information which is irrelevant or rarely needed. Every extra unit of information in a design competes with the relevant units of information and diminishes the relative visibility. Well, it's a fancy way of saying that if you have a lots of trash, well, I mean stuffs that you don't use or rarely used, you can't see or find the important and useful things and their value. This person, a French writer, he said, perfection is achieved not when there is nothing more to add, but when there is nothing left to take away. Google search, if you know what I mean. Okay. Oh, ninth one. Help. Excuse me. Help users recognize, diagnose, and recover from errors. Every messages should be expressed in plain language. No codes. Precisely indicate the problem and constructively suggest a solution. So can you see the difference between do and do not? The operation couldn't be completed. Error domain error 20. This message can't help the users, can it? Designers should assume users are unable to understand technical terminology, or error messages should almost always be expressed in plain language to ensure nothing gets lost in translation. Like the green one here. Uh-oh, the file you try to upload is a type we don't understand. Supported image formats are JPEG, PNG, and GIF. Like that. You get the idea, right? Okay, next, the final one. Help and documentation. Let's see the example first. If a user is making a purchase online, like in here in Shopee MN, in the right side example, the size guideline for the product will help users when making a purchase. Like if you click the himjenitagor, you will able to see the guideline image as a help here. For more, showing them the return and refund policy or a link to it on the product page would be more beneficial than putting it on the frequently asked questions section. That usually people don't read. They don't go there and read for the frequently asked questions, right? Okay. Excuse me, for the second example here in the left side, if you mouse over the question mark, you will be able to see some help and guidelines. Okay, for the description, well, even though it is better if the design can be used without documentation, it may be necessary to provide help and documentation. Any such information should be easy to search, focused on the user's task, list concrete steps to be carried out, and not be too large to read. Okay. Distributed cognition. It is a concept introduced in the field of human-computer interaction, HCI, by Holland and Hutchins. Hutchins. Okay. Well, it is a really, really, really complicated field of study if you were in a psychology field. Gladly, we are in computer science. Um, Still not sure if it's gladly. Anyways, let's see each word separately first. Distribute is well, it's a give a share or unit of something to each of a number of recipients. Okay, cognition is the complicated one. It is the mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and understanding through um, thought, experience, and the senses. Okay, and together, the theory of distributed cognition, um, like any cognitive theory, it seeks to understand the organization of cognitive systems. I know. So how do you use this complicated term when designing an interface? Well, there are several different ways that interfaces can help people think more frequently, fluently by distributing cognition into pieces of artifacts. It is a way of approaching the problem that puts your attention squarely on how extend the mind across artifacts, the objects. Okay, from the user side, it is about understanding the design by understanding the connection between each part of the design. Okay, from designer side, we have to design a picture that is worth 1,000 words. Okay, you have to distribute the cognition to the each words. Um, okay. Let's see an example here. Um, highly. No. What highly? Highlighted text here. This one displays the different costs of the various flights. The system takes the load of displaying the difference in rates, and hence it's reducing the load of remembering the various costs of the multiple flights. Okay, you can say in a short sentence, the design, the system shares the load of cognition and thereby making it a distributed cognitive system. It's like the sixth heuristics checklist we did a few slides ago. The recall, then the recognition. Well, this design is helping users with showing the least pricey option, flight option, highlighted on the top with green color. This simple few letters and numbers mean so many things, you know. Well, it distributed the cognition. You can understand many. You can get many information from this simple table. This theory is used in so many different fields inside the HCI. You can research more on this, but for this class, I think we will just focus on infographics for a bit. An infographic is a collection of imagery, charts, and minimal text that gives an easy to understand overview of a topic. Okay, infographics use striking, engaging visuals to communicate information quickly and clearly. Okay, to distribute cognition, as I said, we have to design a picture that is worth 1,000 words, and that is that. Infographics is a picture that conveys 1,000 words. Well, nowadays there are interactive infographics like websites or animated infographics for the busy people to see. Okay, let's see some of them. Um, uh, I think you can. Oh, I will upload this PowerPoint. Okay, and you can go to the links. Also, I will just attach the links on the video on the description part. Okay. Okay, on this example, an infographic is a collection of imagery, charts, and minimal texts, as I said. Okay, and I think I can show. I hope I can show. Sorry. I will just link down below. Okay, that is for today. Oh, homeworks. Oh, we've got 3 homeworks, and I think I will just explain it on the Google Classroom. Okay. Okay. Good night. I mean not good night. Anyways, see you later.